Long before laboratories, before patents, before modern medicine, this plant already had a name, a purpose, and a protector. Plantain, sacred to the god Mercury, the guardian of travelers, messengers, and healers. To the Germanic peoples, it was not just a plant. They believed it carried returning souls, a living bridge between worlds. And centuries later, even William Shakespeare mentioned it again and again in his works, fascinated by its ability to close wounds, calm inflammation, and restore the body. Today, they call it a weed, something undesirable, something messy, something that does not belong in a perfect garden. Every year, billions of dollars are spent worldwide on herbicides designed to eradicate plants like plantain from lawns, fields, and roadsides. Because it doesn't fit our idea of order. Because it grows where it wants. They recommend chemicals to make sure it never grows again. And in doing so, we are systematically erasing one of the oldest healing plants humanity has ever known. The explanation for this is simple. You can't make money from Ribwort plantain, but you can from expensive pills and powders. This is the story of one of the most powerful medicinal plants in our world. Our story begins nearly 2,000 years ago. In the 1st century after Christ, the Greek physician and military healer Dioscorides documented plantain in his monumental work De Materia Medica, one of the most influential medical texts in human history. He recommended it for persistent coughs, for bleeding wounds, and for disorders of digestion. Crushed leaves to stop bleeding, applications to calm inflammation and support the digestive tract. This was not folklore. It was frontline medicine, used by healers, soldiers, and physicians across the Roman world. For centuries, Dioscorides' words were copied, translated, and trusted, long before modern science decided which plants were useful and which ones were merely weeds. Centuries later, in the Middle Ages, plantain never disappeared. It was deeply valued in monastic medicine and medieval herbals, recommended for burns, ulcers, infected wounds, and festering sores. A plant trusted where fire damaged flesh and infection threatened life. In folk medicine, its use was even more immediate. Fresh leaves were crushed and pressed onto insect bites to draw out venom and swelling. Prepared remedies were taken for stubborn coughs and irritated airways. And there were stories, passed down for generations, of powerful snakes recovering from their own bites after feeding on plantain. Whether symbol or observation, these stories carried a clear message. Even nature turned to this plant when survival was at stake. For centuries, plantain remained a respected part of healing, right up to the dawn of modern medicine. Then something changed. Healing began to look different. White tablets, sealed in cardboard boxes, were suddenly seen as more valuable. Not because they were older, not because they were wiser, but because they were manufactured and expensive. And how could a roadside plant compete with that? A plant anyone could gather for free. No patent, no packaging, no profit. To call plantain medicine would no longer make sense, because medicine now had to be sold. Today, science has finally caught up with what traditional healers always knew. Plantain contains a remarkable spectrum of bioactive compounds, mucilages that soothe irritated mucous membranes, especially in the throat and lungs. Tannins that tighten tissue and support wound healing. Flavonoids with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Iridoid glycosides, such as orcubin, are now known for their antibacterial activity. Saponins help loosen mucus and support natural expectoration. Alongside this, plantain provides essential minerals like potassium, zinc, and silica, as well as vitamins C and K, all crucial for immune defense and tissue repair. Together, these compounds help explain why plantain has long been used to support coughs and bronchial irritation, to calm inflamed skin and minor wounds, and to assist the body in fighting infections from the inside and out. What was once dismissed as folklore is now quietly confirmed, molecule by molecule. Plantain is one of the most widely distributed medicinal plants on Earth. Its origin lies in Europe, yet today it grows on almost every continent. Not because it was planted, but because it followed us. Its tiny seeds cling to shoes, to bare feet, to wheels moving along roadsides and paths, carried wherever humans walked. So much so that many Native American tribes gave it a name, the white man's footprint. Botanically, plantain belongs to the plantain family and is a resilient perennial. It adapts to almost any soil, a crucial advantage in an age of modern landscapes and vast monocultures, where resilience has become a matter of survival. Even its Latin name tells the story. Plantago, derived from planta, meaning the sole of the foot, a plant shaped by being stepped on, yet never destroyed. Traditionally, its leaves and flowers are harvested from May to September, the roots later in the year. But the greatest healing strength was said to concentrate in the leaves around mid-August. And when it comes to medicine, the focus has always been on the young leaves, soft, potent, and full of life. Beyond medicine, plantain also carried meaning, deeply symbolic, quietly magical. For centuries, it was seen as a symbol of fertility and renewal, a plant of continuity, life returning again and again. Old traditions speak of 3 roots, dug before sunrise and worn around the neck to ward off fever. And for matters of the heart, it was said that drinking plantain tea for 5 days could dissolve lovesickness and restore inner balance. Plantain leaves were even used as an oracle. Children would tear a leaf between them. The one left with more visible threads was believed to carry more hidden faults. Others tore the leaf alone, seeking signs of future children and blessings yet to come. To the ancient Greeks and Romans, plantain was not merely earthly. They believed it to be connected to forces of the underworld, a plant standing at the threshold between healing and mystery. And yet, despite all of this, most people still walk past it without ever noticing. They step over it on sidewalks. They pull it out of their gardens. They spray it with chemicals, not realizing that this plant has followed humanity for thousands of years, through wars, migrations, plagues, and revolutions in medicine. Plantain did not disappear when we invented hospitals. It did not vanish when we created laboratories. It simply waited, waiting at the edges of our roads, growing quietly where life happens, ready to be used or forgotten. This powerful healing plant does not stop at medicine. It also finds its place on the plate, where nourishment and healing meet. Fresh plantain leaves are rich in vitamin C, making them a valuable addition to wild herb salads, herb curd, green smoothies, or aromatic wild herb pesto. Young leaves can even be prepared like spinach, gentle, grounding, and surprisingly versatile. One traditional dish combines plantain with another resilient companion, nettles. For a simple plantain nettle soup, sauté a chopped onion in olive oil, Add diced potatoes and vegetable broth. Then stir in finely cut plantain and nettle leaves. After 10 minutes of gentle cooking, season with salt and pepper, and finish with cream if desired. What grows by the roadside can become both nourishment and quiet medicine. Perhaps the answer to our health has been here all along, not hidden in laboratories, but growing quietly beneath our feet. We have more influence over our well-being than we are often led to believe. Our health is not something distant. It is something we hold in our own hands. The plants reveal themselves to us because we need them. They appear where life unfolds, offering support, balance, and resilience. Maybe it is time to trust nature again, and the wisdom that existed long before packaged pills and printed instructions. Plantain must not fade into forgetfulness. If this knowledge is to survive, share this video. Share the memory. Let the knowledge live on.